there is an experience, a conscious experience of this, but in the deep sleep there's no conscious experience of this.
There is no conscious experience.
Yeah. The reason for that is that you feel that in the waking state you are separate from this, experiencing this. Some subtle thing is there like that. You see? Really, there's no break in either we're sleeping or dreaming or being conscious, so to speak. You know? I don't know how far and how many people will catch what I'm speaking here. When you speak about it, like, yes, I am conscious of this, I'm conscious of the self, then I ask you, who is speaking here? If you say it's somehow, it is like the mind consciousness is speaking on behalf of this absoluteness, but it's not separate, then somehow I can be with you with it. But if you have a sense that there's something separate, commenting about the absolute, then I'm going to ask you to take a look properly, you see. That is itself an idea. That would itself be an idea. I don't know if we have gone too far in this kind of talking for most people, if you are alive with me in this moment of talking or not.
Yes.
Yeah, because I am not here just to swap concepts and to entertain the mind with spiritual concepts or something. It has to be food in the mouth, not menu. If you're hungry, you come to me, I can't give you a menu. Somebody who's really hungry and come to you and I give them the most beautiful menu, it's not going to work. If you're hungry, you must eat food. If you are thirsty for this, I have to give you something that will quench your thirst. Your attitude should be like this. If you have come for just spiritual knowledge and to learn how to be a guru and all this kind of stuff, you're in the wrong place. If you've come because something inside feel, wow, since coming here, I don't even understand so much what he's speaking, but I can feel so much results happening inside my being, welcome, you are here.
Yes, Master.
Be careful that we don't start to speak about this. Don't keep talk about it.
No, Master.
Because quickly the mind loves that, and then you start to say, yes, you know, like, for me now nothing exists, there's no you, and please keep quiet, don't speak. It's very irritating to hear people speak like that. You are like Ramakrishna made an example, like I gave the example, that if you throw an empty bottle out into the river, it will keep going gluk, 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 gluk. When it's totally filled up, it will go to the bottom and total silence. Don't be in gluk, 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 gluk.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, you stay at the bottom in silence like this. No? Then you realize that I was imagining that there was something that had to stay. Then I see now I am that which doesn't have to stay. It just is. You see? But nevertheless, that experience has to be tasted of staying with it in the play. No? And that must be your resolve. You know, everything I've tasted has brought me out. But this somehow I feel I'm being dissolved in this. I stay here. I am just here. You see? When the mind and tension go out, you have the sense that you have gone out. But a wisdom inside you say, oh, even attention can go out, but I have not gone out. You see, you're developing a wisdom. It's happening very spontaneously in you. That's why I mean keep quiet. I don't mean keep quiet. I mean remain quiet. Don't give the mind the job of advertising or declaring the self.
Yes.
You just keep quiet. You are there to recognize that to be true. Now, all I would encourage is to just sit with that and say, really, how do I stay here? Maybe a feeling goes, yes, okay, I can see that I am here now. I don't want to leave this place, and keep confirming if these voices, such as, how can I stay here, is actually true. Or the greater fact is that, but I am here, and something is questioning whether this I am here is a practice or a recognition. You see, this is what I'm talking about. That continues to develop. I want to tell you why I'm speaking like this, because I would say growing up, my temperament would not be for someone who thinks. I was not a good thinker. You know? I was not into reading and all this type of thing. If you saw me with a book, because it had pictures in it. I love pictures and comics and stuff like that. I'm not somebody who think and, go into, the nature of the self. That's not me. In fact, when the first bout of a kind of an awakening took place, I just knew it was God. I didn't think it was God. I knew it was God in my heart. And for a few years, all that I could do is to sit quietly. And people were coming, and I'm just sit, and they seem to be happy. I just sit. Sometimes I feel an energy come to look like this. And then sometimes my head would just stop. I didn't intend my head to stop, but stop and looking, and it was just as though there was some energy kind of like going zzz through my eyes. The eyes used to feel really strained, happening, and then it would stop, and then it would move on again to something. I'm watching this. Something is watching this. I noticed it, and I knew, and I felt it is just the God energy doing these things because there was no intention. Because I didn't like looking into people's eyes particularly. Because in the old days, I look at somebody in the eye and I feel like I'm hiding something. But now that went away. And something was beginning to just scan and just sort of like look. But there was no personal controller of this. It was just happening like that. And so I used to just sit with people sometime. I didn't even invite them. It just happened like that. And then at a certain point, people started coming and started to ask me about consciousness and self-inquiry. And I said, oh my God, I had to pray, Father, you're sending these type of people. I don't know what to say to them. You deal with them. And shortly after that, some ability arose to, when questions were asked, I could see the answers. Not as words, I could see the answers as a seeing within myself. And that's how all this talking now. Because even sitting with Papaji for all this time, he didn't directly teach self-inquiry. He applied self-inquiry. And I used to say that in the days sitting at my master's feet, I was not learning so much, but I was changing a lot. This is why now I can tell you, if you don't understand what I'm speaking, if you don't understand words, that's okay for now. But pay attention just to your feeling, not what your mind says about your feeling, just the pure feeling. Because grace is taking care of you. I know this thing. But when this thing happened, I started to recognize, then the words came. And like I say, Papaji was not teaching self-inquiry in this way. And look at this. Myself was some regular little kid. It became clear, like something needed to speak like this. And maybe because I live in the West, where Western mind is very complex. And something was showing how to come out of that. But I'm not particularly interested in big, long conversations. I would rather you say, I want to find this, and say, oh yeah, it's over there, get it. I don't want to draw maps and speak of philosophy about anything, because it's very simple. You're hungry, you eat. Thirsty, drink. Tired, sleep. Full of energy, go walking. I don't want to make a big philosophy about it. You see? So this is what I'm saying, that I'm not interested into, big analytical thinking, because I say, no, I don't trust this one. Let's speak very simple. And the truth is very simple. But the seeker of truth is quite complex. So when we get into complexity, I tend to avoid that and find a simpler way. And the simpler way always works best. The complex way just goes into the head and just becomes noise. But simple things, it goes into the heart recognizes them, and immediately they're bearing fruit. I say that, this state of whatever, some kind of turbulence inside the mental space, it is observed. This is all I'm telling you. I don't have 15 things to tell you. I said, but you can observe that or not. You see? And all that, the stubbornness just comes from habits, a habitual way of speaking. When you say, I was all up there doing that, I said, no. That shaking was there, but were you able to be just aware of it without identifying with it, without logging in to that? Can you see this? And something begins to recognize, of course, it's so simple. Sometimes people say, I didn't realize how simple you were saying. I thought you meant this. I said, no, I'm just saying this thing. Very simple. This shaking in the head, this noise, and the people say, no, I'm going crazy. I said, no, the mind is behaving like it's going crazy. Watch from some place that's quite still and quite silent. Can you recognize this? And if you say, yes, I can recognize this, say, okay, we can explore together. If you say, I can't recognize this, I'm going to say, well, I only have 10 minutes and we're not going to make it because you're going to keep putting up defenses. And if I ask you, can you see that these defenses are in fact a movement in your mind and they can be watched from a place that's not defending?
Yes.
Well, this is good. Then if you can see that, the rest becomes increasingly easy. In a short time, if you were really earnest in your looking, the whole superstructure of deluded thinking can just collapse. It can just collapse. And it will try to reform itself. But you say, no, but you see that it's it's been exposed. It cannot fool you again. You must build even small steps. If you make a good small step, you'll find that you rise in consciousness so amazingly. I don't want to tell you, listen, you have to come and sit with me for 6 months. Because I feel trapped by that. I say, listen as much as you can now and apply what you have understood or you feel something. I trust this. Then I see you tomorrow. Let me see how you are. And if I see you like, I say, okay, I don't want to buy this one. Not today. I don't have time to sit around, in a pool of tears. No. Let's look at the one who make use of the pointing because it is so effective, it is so immediate, it is so for you that if you make use of it immediately, I said this is a tree that bears fruit immediately. So I don't have to tell you, listen, I come back in 3 months and see how you're doing. If you are really understanding already today, your life has changed. It's become brighter, more spacious. And it's not just good luck, it's not good luck. It's that the little bit of guidance and plus a lot of grace is with you. Don't rely on your mind. A lot of grace is with you. But if you keep on going, yeah, but I don't feel it, and please just touch my head. Okay, and I touch your head, and you say, yeah, can you touch it again? So, no, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not interested, full stop. But if you're speaking, and I'm not here to speak to intellectuals, because it works for everyone. It's simple enough. It's simple enough, I give time because we are not accustomed to this type of self-examination. So it takes a while to break it in a little bit, and I have that much time to look together because it took me time also. It took some time. At first I was trying to, somebody tell me they sat with Papaji, and one time a woman came to Papaji one morning and was saying, Papaji, thank you. I said, what's she thanking for? And she said, I got it, Papaji. I said, yeah, everybody shut up. And I said, because we're trying to get it as well. And she said, I was in this morning, we were sitting in the kitchen, and my husband came and brought me some muesli and said, you want muesli? And I said, no, I want popcorn or something. And then he says, you want a popcorn? Why don't you pop? And suddenly it finished. So I started thinking, maybe it's popcorn. So popcorn. Your mind tries these things. It's going to think, maybe if I get this popcorn and, was that full skim milk and what, it will do all these crazy things. You try it, and then you see it's not that. It doesn't work, you see? So we can try all these things, and, the mind plays like this. You have to get used to how your mind plays also. And everything has been shown just to look from good place. You look from good place, the proper place. I've not just sent you out widely. You say, no. Just this. Try this today, look. And from this you should find it. Because the self is not hiding. You see? It's kind of missing the obvious, you know? It's always here. It's always here. It's more here than your present idea of yourself, which one day will go. Hopefully soon, go. And you're going to enjoy your absence beautifully. The absence of the idea you have of who you are. Simple thing. No one has ever discovered the self and was disappointed.